We are going to talk about something that is going to hurt you, but you need to hear it. You have been lied to. They made you believe that what you feel is love, when it is really fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not being enough, fear of not being loved, fear of not having someone to validate you, to make you feel like you are worth something. Tell me the truth. What would happen if that person you cling to disappeared tomorrow? Would you still feel complete? Or would you crumble like a house of cards that only stood up because someone else was holding it? That knot in your stomach? That tremor in your hands when your message goes unanswered? That insomnia as you check their last seen timestamp again and again? That is not love. It is anxiety in disguise. It is attachment. It is emotional dependency. And worst of all, you've been confusing it with love, because no one ever taught you how to love without needing. Carl Jung said it bluntly. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But you are not transforming. You are getting lost. You mold yourself into whatever image you think will make them stay. You reduce yourself, deny yourself, betray yourself, all because the idea of them not choosing you is terrifying. Because you believe that without them, you are nothing. Here is the truth you don't want to hear. It's not love that you feel, it's an addiction. You are hooked on this person like a drug. They make you feel something you can't give yourself. They soothe a void inside you that you don't even dare to face. Do you know what attachment really is? It's the illusion that you need someone else to survive. It's that inner whisper that tells you, without them, I die. But you won't die. If you face that fear, if you endure their absence, you rebuild yourself. You transform. Because absence, when you meet it with brave eyes, becomes your greatest teacher. Attachment is fear. Love is freedom. Attachment chains you. Love expands you. And as long as you don't understand that difference, you will keep confusing cages with hugs. You will keep believing that to love is to possess, to hold, to keep someone yours. But true love doesn't need locks. It doesn't need eternal promises. It doesn't require certainty or control. Jung understood this. He knew that human beings project their inner voids onto others, that we look outside for what we lack inside. That's why attachment is so common. We walk around with open wounds and try to close them with someone else's skin. We become emotional vampires, absorbing their energy, feeding off their presence just to avoid facing our own emptiness. But there comes a turning point, a moment when you finally hit rock bottom, when you realize that the love you thought would save you is not saving you at all. It's sinking you, and that is where detachment begins. Not as a cold renunciation, not as some cruel emotional numbness, but as a profound act of self-love. Detaching is not about ceasing to love. It's about starting to love without chains. It's letting go of the fear of loss. It's understanding that authentic love doesn't demand permanence, nor require you to sacrifice your essence. True love invites you to be more of you, not less. To grow, not to shrink. To fly, not to stay caged. Detachment is an internal revolution. It is telling your fear, you no longer command me. It is looking straight into the void and not trembling. It is knowing that you don't need anyone to feel complete because you already are, even if you don't see it yet. And yes, it will hurt. The process of letting go feels like tearing off a piece of your soul, because you've lived so long believing that the other person was indispensable. You forgot how to walk alone. But believe me, it's possible. And when you finally free yourself, everything changes. Not because the world itself changes, but because you no longer see it through the lens of lack. You see it through the lens of fullness. Detaching is not closing your heart, it's opening it, but without conditions. It is loving without fear. It's saying, I love you, but I do not need you to be happy. And although that sounds contradictory, it is the greatest act of love you can offer. Because then you love without pressure, without manipulation, without expectations. You love purely, freely, truly. Jung spoke of the process of individuation, a path of self-discovery where you integrate all parts of yourself. You get to know yourself completely. You become whole, one with yourself. He also taught that each of us carries both feminine and masculine energies, the anima and the animus. If we don't recognize and integrate those within ourselves, we'll go looking for them in someone else. We'll chase outside what we think we lack inside. And from that place of wholeness, you can relate to someone without losing yourself. You can share without needing. You can love without depending. Because you are no longer empty. You are no longer broken. You are no longer looking for someone to complete you. You are choosing to share what you already are, not searching for what you lack in another. But that kind of freedom requires courage. Attachment may hurt, but it's comfortable in its familiarity. Detachment, on the other hand, throws you into the abyss. It forces you to confront yourself. It leaves you alone with your shadows. And that is where many people turn back, because they prefer the familiar prison to the unknown freedom. But do you know what lies beyond that abyss? Peace. A peace that doesn't depend on anyone. A stability that doesn't shake when someone leaves. A love that is born within you and expands outwards instead of the other way around. And then you understand. Letting go is not losing. It's reclaiming. Reclaiming yourself, rebuilding yourself, reconnecting with your power, your essence, your true self. True love does not hurt. It does not distress you or manipulate you, or ask you to abandon yourself to keep it alive. If it hurts, if it makes you feel small, if it robs you of your peace, it's not love, it's attachment. And that bond, no matter how much it masquerades as romance, is nothing more but an emotional prison. Do you want to truly love? Then learn to be alone. Learn to embrace your solitude. Get to know your dark corners. Learn to hold yourself up when everything falls apart. Do not depend on the reflection of another to recognize your own worth. Only then can you look someone in the eyes and say, I choose you, but I do not need you. And that is a brutal truth, because most people do not truly love. They cling. They live tied, dependent, broken, confusing love with suffering, confusing intensity with authenticity, confusing passion with dependence. But there is another path. More difficult, yes, but far more truthful. The path of conscious detachment. The path of emotional freedom. The path that leads you to love from abundance, not from lack. So look inside. Ask yourself, why does letting go hurt so much? What part of me do I believe will die if the other leaves? What void am I trying to fill with this person? Right there, in those answers, lies the root of your attachment. As Jung wisely put it, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. It's time to awaken by looking within. Now rip it out, not with rage, but with compassion, with love, with patience. Because this is not about hating them. It's about loving yourself enough not to depend on anyone to feel like you exist. And yes, it will hurt at first, but that pain is the purest form of love you can imagine, because it's born from truth. Remember, love is not possession. It is free presence. It is voluntary companionship. It is a dance, not a chain. If you have to lock someone down, if you have to force or control, it's not love, it's fear. And fear never builds, it only destroys. So let go. Let go with dignity. Let go with love. Let go knowing that letting go is not losing. It is choosing yourself. And when you choose yourself, when you truly embrace yourself and stop searching outside for what was inside you all along, everything changes. You no longer beg for love. You no longer settle for crumbs. You no longer cling to someone who cannot support you. You no longer lose yourself in the other, because now you have yourself, and that is the most powerful thing of all. This is a brutal message, yes, painful too, but necessary, because as long as you keep calling your need love, you will remain trapped. You will keep suffering, keep repeating the same patterns that destroy you. It's time to wake up. Time to look your attachment in the eyes and say, I don't need you anymore. It's time to walk toward real love, a love that doesn't chain, that doesn't consume you, a love that liberates, that accompanies, that builds you up. And that love begins with you, in you. Because when you're okay with yourself, everything else falls into place. And only then can you truly love. If you've made it this far, if even a single sentence felt like it cut you open, then I have a proposal for you. Go to the comments and write this sentence as a commitment to yourself. I choose peace over fear. Write it not for me, but for you, so you never forget. So that every time you feel yourself slipping back, you remember this decision. And subscribe if you haven't already, because this place isn't here to entertain you. It's here to break you, and then help you rebuild. You don't come here to pass the time. You come here to wake up. If you're ready for more uncomfortable truths, more brutal psychology, more revelations that force you to see your life with new eyes, then stick around. Now I'll say goodbye, but not really a goodbye. No, I'll leave you with a warning. From this moment on, you will no longer be able to love the same way. You will no longer be able to relate the same way, because now you know, now you see. And once you see the truth, there is no going back. See you in the next video, or rather, I'll meet you where it matters most, on the other side.